The Corsa Sport will be a premium catback option for the S550 owners out there who are after a healthy amount of volume, but don't necessarily want or need all of the crazy volume that comes along with aggressive systems like the Corsa Extreme or other category screamers. Now, the Corsa Sport will feature the black quad tips here, making it a perfect choice again for the 2018 and newer non-active GT owners out there. Also including the 2015 through 2017 GT owners who may have already modified their rear bumper to make room for the quad tip setup. Now, price point for the Sport is gonna hit just north of that $2,000 mark. But now let's switch gears and talk about the install here with the Corsa, guys. And this is gonna be a 100% bolt-on job. So therefore, figure a solid 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter and a couple of hours to complete from start to finish. So the Sport is a system that is certainly near and dear to my heart, as it's one of the few that I've had the pleasure installing on my personal S197. And honestly, guys, the volume was perfect for me personally, even with the long tube headers in place and that Roush supercharger. It was a great combo, quiet when I wanted it to be, but obviously loud when I hammered on the car. But enough about my car. Let's talk about the sound clips you guys heard here with the S550 GT. And honestly, for reference sake, guys, keep in mind that car that you just heard at the top does have stock manifolds or headers in place, and the sound is completely awesome, right? Just the right amount of bark, in my opinion, without being too loud or over the top. But in true typical Corsa fashion, I would say, you're still getting kind of that exotic tone with the Corsa, which I think helps make this system a little bit more unique. But what does it all mean on my patented Wake the Neighbors scale? Well, I have the Sport coming in, I would say, at a soft 4 out of 5 overall, guys, on my 1 to 5 or 1 to Wake the Neighbors scale. It's certainly aggressive when you're just romping on the car, revving the hell out of it. But at that same point, guys, it's still not nearly as loud or as unruly as the Corsa Extreme or possibly other 5 out of 5 systems. Now, if this is your first time actually checking out a Corsa system, then one thing you guys do need to be aware of is that yes, you are getting a ton of volume out the back, depending on your system. In this case, a moderate amount of volume, but inside the car, things do remain extremely quiet, thanks to the company's patented tech known as RSC, or reflective sound cancellation technology. Now, this does allow the Corsa to be plenty loud on the eardrums on the outside of the car, while still being able to carry on a conversation on the inside of the car while cruising. And in my opinion, guys, are one of the best companies out there to do this. But let's step away from the sound and talk a little bit more about the premium build quality, as I mentioned at the top of the video. And yes, you are getting some very solid stuff here out of the American-made Corsa. Now, this does include the 304 grade stainless steel from tip to tip, including your 3-inch mandrel bent tubing. You got your unique double helix X-pipe, as it's called. Finally, through your Corsa mufflers, and then again, everything is going to exit out the beautiful 4-inch quad tips in black. But now let's switch gears. Let's talk a little bit more about that install. And one of the nice things about the S550 catback installs is that there's no cutting, there's no modification needed. But now let's head out to the garage, show you how to get it installed, and give you a tool breakdown.
The tools you'll need for this project are an impact gun with a 15mm socket, a 1/4-inch drive ratchet, a 13mm socket, and an exhaust hanger removal tool. Hi everyone, today we're installing an exhaust on our Mustang, but before we do that, let's watch a short video on how to uninstall the stock system first, and we'll see you right back here afterwards.
All right, first step here, we're gonna loosen up the 2 clamps holding our factory resonator pipe, or really the entire exhaust, to our factory headers. Now, in order to do that, grab a 15mm deep socket, and we're not gonna remove the nuts, just loosen them up a good amount so that they can move freely. All right, next step, we're moving toward the rear of the vehicle, looking at our rear subframe. There are 2 hangers holding the exhaust up to the subframe here. Now, instead of trying to pop these hangers out of the isolators, because doing that and then getting them back in is gonna be pretty tough. Instead of doing that, we're gonna remove these 2 bolts from the frame and then twist down the hangers off the frame. So grab an extension and a 13mm socket. I'm gonna go right over the rear sway bar and get these 2 bolts off. Once you have those off, lift up and unhook it, and bring it down. There's a little locking tab here that hooks right into that. So you're just gonna lift up and rotate it off. Next up, I got my buddy Jared to help me out here. This is definitely a two-person job, have one person at the tips or the mufflers. I'm gonna be over here just tapping those clamps to the side, and we'll set it aside all in one piece.
So because our new system is larger than our stock system is, we're gonna have to use these adapters to put into the stock front pipes. Now we're gonna be reusing the original front clamps from our stock system, and we'll tighten that down using our 15mm socket. Now we can go ahead and install our X-pipe, making sure, of course, that our support brace in the back is closer to the ground. So we'll just slide a couple of our clamps on top and slip it into our adapters. Now we can snug our clamps down with our 15mm socket. We're also going to be reusing our 4 stock exhaust hangers. So in order to get those off, we're going to be using a hanger removal tool. Now you may also need to use some spray lube on the inside of each of the hangers just to help slide it off more easily. So on this front hanger, you want to make sure that this little hook here is facing towards the front of the car. And we're going to go ahead and use a little bit of spray lube just to get it onto the newer exhaust system without any difficulties. And we'll do the same thing for the rear hanger. Now we can go ahead and slide our clamp onto our tailpipe here, and then we'll go ahead and lift it into place, and we'll use the hooks on the hangers to help support it while we get ready to tighten up the front clamp. Now we can go ahead and reuse our original hardware to hold the hangers in place to make sure they don't fall out. Now you may find it easier to reach up there if you've got an extension on your ratchet, so let's go ahead and tighten it down. Now we can go ahead and tighten down our front hanger. All right, now we can go ahead and slide our clamp onto our tips. And you want to make sure, as you're looking at the tips this way, the taller of the 2 tips is towards the inside of the car, and the shorter one goes towards the outside. Now at this point, you can go ahead and eyeball your tips, make sure that they're level this way, and then we can go ahead and tighten up the rest of our pipes. All right, now that we've got everything lined up the way we want it, all the heights are good, we can go ahead and tighten down all of our clamps using our 15mm socket. And now you can go ahead and repeat that process of installing the muffler and the tip on the other side, and don't forget to put your hangers on as well. And that wraps up our review and install of the Corsa Sport catback exhaust with black tips for 18 to current Mustang GT Fastback without active exhaust. Thanks for watching, and remember, for all things Mustang, keep it right here at AmericanMuscle.com.